Hello and welcome to this week's economic update. My name is Lindy Pond, and we are going to go ahead and get started with some jobs information. So the ADP employment report came out. ADP released their employment report showing 324,000 job creations in July. Little hard to believe. This was double estimates again for the second month in a row. What I more want us to pay attention to this week is the median year-over-year change in annual pay. So wages continue to slow for 13 months in a row. You can see here that job changers increase their pay from 10 to 10.2%, and that job stayers are increasing their pay at 6.2%. But again, this is slowing down. So they're not making as much of an increase as they had been in the past. The positive news is that it is still positive. It's still on the upside, right? Not on the downside. But you can see that wages are slowing, which is something to be aware of and take note of. The Bureau of Labor Statistics also gives us job information. So we have ADP from the private sector, and then we have the BLS, which is from the government sector. And under the BLS, there are two different surveys. There's the business survey and the household survey. So the business survey, which, as we've talked about in the past, comes from modeling and estimations, and that says that we increased 187,000 jobs. Again, a very big difference from what the ADP was saying in the earlier slide. The expectation was 200,000, so pretty close. The household survey, which comes from literally calling households, this is also where we get the unemployment figure. It said the unemployment rate decreased from 3.6 to 3.5%. So not a whole lot, 3.6 to 3.5. And it said that we increased jobs 268,000. Now, one very important thing I want you all to take note of is that we lost 585,000 full-time jobs, this report claims. That is a lot of full-time jobs. Now, we gained part-time jobs of 972. So as you can see, we gained a lot more than we lost, but we gained a lot of part-time jobs. So that means that people are not making as much money on part-time jobs as the assumption as they would be on a full-time job, right? The multiple job workers increased by 118,000. So you can see the trend that part-time employment is really up, full-time lost a lot, and then multiple people are having to work multiple jobs. The average hourly earnings were up only 0.4% again in June. Average weekly hours worked fell to 34.3. I think it fell from 34.4, so not a big difference, but still fell a little bit. And then average weekly earnings were up 0.1% month over month. All of this is supporting weakness in the employment sector. Heard on the streets for the week. Be prepared for when CPI figures are released later this week. Overall inflation to inch up maybe slightly a little bit. As we know, this all comes from that rolling 12-month average that we talk about frequently. Our current June number is replacing a negative number from July in 2022. So it could just be a mathematical thing. Black Knight reported home prices rose 0.7% in June, another record. At this pace, we are on track to see an over 5% appreciation by year end. Moody's cut the credit rating on a handful of regional banks due to assets being devalued due to higher rates and loans they hold in the commercial real estate space. This will deepen the existing credit crunch. Declining origination volumes have led to lower profitability for many lenders, resulting in narrower loan product offerings to reduce operational costs, says Joel Kahn at the MBA. There's a lot of mortgage companies out there trying to figure out ways to cut expenses, and one of these ways is maybe to offer less number of products, less options for you. Mortgage data for the week. The weekly conventional mortgage rate was up a little bit, 7.09%. Remember, this is the weekly conventional mortgage rate. DSCR rates for you investors out there still are hovering around the 7 to 10% range, depending on your credit score, loan to value, and DSCR calculation. That is our update for the week. If there's anything I can do to help any of you real estate investors out there, just let me know. Thank you.